Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, thou would I take of all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakodash, Salaki Rachakodash. Alright, the bonus of the apostles and others that agree most on who were well, and taught us this 100% truth. Alright, much peace and blessings spent to you, whole food, like that, the bush, not this word of thought, truth, and sincerity. To all you Akim, I say Shalom. So this is going to be a video going off in the spirit, based off of an article entitled, "By 2045, humans will use the metaverse to transition from earthly bodies to a living app." And see, that's the thing. Alright? Esau's mentality is that if he's given extra more time, that he could be likened into a god. Alright? That could be likened into the Most High, creating this and then a third whenever he wants and whatever he wants to create, and whatnot. And he's been doing that, man. Alright? He already managed to carefully extract the pig heart and transplant it into a human being. All right, with these concepts of brain transplants, now he's talking about transferring your consciousness, which you can't transfer your consciousness into the internet. That's retarded, man. Literally stupid, because your consciousness is basically your spirit, man. Or you can't digitize the spirit. Your spirit's a flame. It can't be digitized. It's a spiritual thing. It can't be digitized. But that's Esau's mentality. That he's trying to be complex and whatnot. Well, this understanding is too hard for you, man. As a matter of fact, you're falling down. All right, Esau already trying to create a man-made cell that could eat and multiply. All right, that's how corrupt this damnable is. All right, he wants to be like God, but he can't be. He won't be a true God. The Lord won't make him a true God. The only people who's gonna make a true God are the Israelite nation, man. And that's who immortality is for, because that's the concept of Esau Edom, with the mind uploading type of thing. Transferring your consciousness into a AI, and that's how you live long. Because the article reads, enough of my rambling, it reads, for centuries humans have looked for the elixir of life. And that word elixir means potion. Alright? Like in your mythical genre shows that you watch with the wizards making potions of healing and whatnot. Which wizards are they're all wicked, man, and they all deserve to die. And that's Esau Edom for you, man. He behind the scenes he'd be doing these type of potions and whatnot. But we're cursing you guys out, man. So for centuries, because they think that they could curse us, but in reality we're cursing them. Remember the I forget who it was, but back in Moab when we were in that land, what happened was that the king of Moab called in I believe it was a priest or a sorcerer, I forget, with the talking donkey, and instead of cursing us, he basically gave blessings upon us, man. So anyways, digressing back, for centuries humans have looked for the elixir of life, and you can keep on looking for that, man. All right, you heathen nations keep on looking for that elixir of life. It ain't gonna happen. All right, you ain't gonna find it, because that elixir of life is reserved only for the Israelite nation. It was prophesied that we shall receive immortality, or that tree of life, or that crown of life. All right, a piece of it that comes to mind is in the book of, I believe it was in the book of Zephaniah or Zechariah. But with me, I can con the Zechariah, the 8th chapter, verse 4. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age. So Zechariah described it as old people with canes, but in reality we're basically gonna look like 20-year-olds, but we're gonna be like thousands of years old, man. All right, Akim in the kingdom gonna be literally 1 trillion years old, but look like 20 years old, man. That's how great that day is gonna be. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Those 2/3 coming back, and they're gonna be in the right mindset, perfect as well, and playing around with spiritual power and animals and whatnot. Thus saith the Lord of hosts. All right, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people, remnant, because in the elect it's gonna be delivered. All right, the 2/3 gonna come back to them through their loins, through the loins, but as a remnant, it's gonna start it all. So thus saith the Lord of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in mine eyes, saith the Lord of hosts? And the answer is yes, it is going to be marvelous in the Lord's eyes, because as the scriptures say, it is his good will, roughly paraphrasing right there, to give you the kingdom. All right, it is the Father's good will to do that, man. All right, So
Thus
you know,
saith the
we're
Lord,
basically
I
gonna
am returned
receive
unto
immortality.
Zion, and will dwell in
And the
the
picture that
midst
comes
of
to mind is in the book of
Jerusalem.
1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, and it reads, you know, going on to the 50th verse, on down to verse 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. And these scriptures are a mystery. People don't understand what this means. All right, tell you, average Christian, what does 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, verse 51, on down to verse 58 mean? They won't know how to break it down. And if they do try and break it down, they got the guts, and they're gonna break it down like Pastor Manning's over there, you know. So, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep. Yeah, sleep meaning, you know, dying and going back to the spirit world. Because in reality, there is no such thing as dying. We just all go back to the spirit world, and that's it. So we shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. Yeah, because we're gonna be changed, and when we get beamed up, because the elect on this side that are not in the spirit world, they won't be raised up first. They're gonna be in the spirit world. Salakia, the elect that are on the scene in this earth that are not in the spirit world, Salakia. You know, the ones like the elect right now, they're gonna get beamed up, and they're gonna be changed as we're being beamed up, man. So, but we shall all be changed. That's what it means, and changed as in changing from this crappy terrestrial flesh onto those celestial, to those spiritual bodies, man, to those spiritual bodies. So, in verse 52, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, and that's going into the thermonuclear destruction. That's the last trump right there. So, in the twinkling of an eye, really quickly, the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. All right, see, so we're gonna be raised incorruptible, man, and we're gonna be changed into those spiritual bodies, because we're gonna be perfect in those bodies. We're never gonna sin, man. We're never gonna go off, man. We're gonna be righteous forevermore. We're gonna be holy, man. Right now, our righteousness are filthy rags, and we're basically, you know, abominable and unclean every day in this flesh. But we're gonna be perfect and clean, and that's in those spiritual bodies. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, Death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? And you see? So, O death, where is thy sting? And that's the point right there, man. You heathen nations are going to keep on looking for that elixir of life, but you guys are going to die. Now the heathen will benefit. Now the heathens will enjoy the kingdom. All right, but they're going to envy us because we're going to benefit in the kingdom. We're going to benefit off the promises which were only promised to the Israelite nation, from Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob. And then from Jacob, along with his 12 sons, 12 patriarchs, consisting of, you know, which make up the whole Israelite nation. You know, and that's where it ends off. You can't make your own tribe, man. Like the other apostle Tahar said many, many years ago, you know, I'm not going to have my own tribe known as the Taharites. No, because we're all Israelites, and that's where it ends off in. All right, so if you're an Edomite or you're a Moabite, and especially if you're an Edomite, man, it's going to suck for you, man. You know, for centuries, humans have looked for the elixir of life, but you guys ain't going to find it yet. You guys aren't, aren't going to find it ever in existence, man. Because your purpose, your life is to serve the Israelite nation. You know, your life is to be worthless. You know, as a drop that fell from a bucket, because you're created to be a heathen. You know, because heathens are given the promise. So what's gonna happen is that you guys are gonna come back and die, and come back and die. So, oh death, where's thy sting? Oh grave, where's thy victory? Yeah, where's the sting? Where's your sting towards the Israelites? All right, you're not gonna find it, because we're gonna be raised invincible, man. You know, incorruptible. We're gonna be literally immortal. Literally immortal. The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is Allah. Yeah, so we're gonna be perfect. We're gonna be righteous. We're never gonna sin. So there should be no reason why we shall die, because the wages of sin are death, right? So, man, we're gonna be perfect on all sides. But thanks be to Yahweh, which giveth us a victory through our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. And that labor being doing the works, man, which is going out to the highways and edges and teach by way of this doing these lessons on the internet. You know, these quick hits and sit downs, you know, lessons in general, basically teaching, man, prophesying. That's our purpose in this thing. So continuing on, if I haven't already read it, paragraph 2 in this in the article reads, that's at least the view of one Russian billionaire, Dmitry Itzkov, and that's Esau Edom right there. Alright, Esau is Edom, pursuant to the book of Genesis, the 36th chapter, verse 8. As it reads, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir, because Esau's whole history, his historical the historical places where he's lived was in Mount Seir, Mount Petra, aka Idumea, and the Caucasus Mountains. And even Jake mentioned that in one of their rap songs. But anyways, digressing back, Dmitry Itzko, and Slakia, continuing on the verse, it says Esau is Edom. See, same person, different names. Dmitry Itzkov, who believes people will one day be able to live forever by Itzkov, who made his fortune with the Moscow-based media company as part of the 2045 initiative, which aims to eliminate aging and even death and to overcome the limits of the human body. Alright, see, so again, that's the mentality of Esau Edom. He thinks that he could rule, and it ain't gonna happen, man. A precept that comes to mind is I believe it was in the book of Jeremiah. Slaki, bro, with me, Akim. Alright, the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter. Kind of was right there, I didn't see it. But I'm gonna start off at verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Yeah, Lucifer, goes back to the word Luciferian, which means light bearer. And Esau Edom is a light bearer on the left hand side, so he's a left hand Luciferian. As a matter of fact, the men of the Lord are also Luciferians. All right, we're also Lucifer, but on the right hand side, because the scriptures say, Yahweh Shai even said this, you are the light to the world. And that light consists of this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding given unto us. So how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, which is in this verse is referring to the Edomites, because they've been falling since 1969, when they developed their crappy space gear to go to the moon. That's when they were falling. So now all of a sudden, because they've been given extra more time, or it should have been by the year 2000 that they should have immediately been did away with, but. It's lucky that Yahweh should have come back, because the apostles, like the other apostle Ragamlab, he even spoke to us about the math that they made. All right, they counted the years, and then it was supposed to, the answer was the year 2000, but basically the Lord gave him extra more time, because even the scriptures talk about how no man knoweth the day, which I'm gonna get out. I don't like rambling. So this is the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, verse 36, and it reads, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. See, not even Yahweh Shai knows. All right, but the Heavenly Father. And even in the book of Acts, I believe it was the second chapter, when Yahweh Shai came back for 40 days, if I'm not mistaken, it was 40 days, and the apostles spake, saying, he come back to establish the kingdom, and then Yahweh Shai was going into this again, that no man knoweth the day, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, the Lord gave basically Esau Edom extra time, but we believe through the Spirit as of right now that this is last year of him ruling in power, man. All right, this is the last year that this kingdom shall ever stand, as we believe through the Spirit. But continuing on, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? And this ain't talking about no actual red entity falling from heaven, because that's stupid. If you could go back to heaven, like it says in Job the first and second chapter, how come he's kicked out? Well, that's a stupid doctrine that has no proper foundation. There's no precepts to back that up. So this is talking about Esau Edom. How art thou cut down to the ground? Yeah, you've been falling, man, since 1969. So you went to the highest peak only to fall down greatly. Esau Edom is the only nation. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's the only nation to actually go to the moon. Yeah, it kind of was the only nation to go to the moon. All right, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And you could read about the history, on the Wikipedia and whatnot. All right, it's cool to teach you about the British occupations during the British Empire, like in the colonies around in Africa in general, alright, in Japan, Asia, everywhere, man. Even the Americas, with the Spanish and British. But going on in verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. And that word heart goes back to the Hebrew word lab, which means mind. So your lab, that's what it means, your mind, your conscious. So I will ascend into heaven. That's his mentality. I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. And those stars of Yahweh are referring to the Israelite nation. You know, because here it is, we're basically gods. We're supposed to be the top people, man, top notch. But first of all, I take it out the book of Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, verse 6. It reads, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people. You get that? You get that? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And Esau Edom is known as the most basest of men. Yeah, he's on top of over us, man. And we're supposed to be above all, man. See, so it was basically a shift in classes, man, racial classes. But anyways, this is the book of Numbers. I believe it was the 31st chapter, if I'm not mistaken. It's a lock, wrong one. Bear with me, Akim. Alright, Khan. This is the book of Exodus, the 32nd chapter, Salakia. The 32nd chapter, verse 13. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. Alright? The lineage, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or Israel, if you would, because his name got changed later on after he fought with the angel in the stream. Thy servants to whom thou swarest by thine own self, and saidst unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven. And all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. So I had to right there again. But and that's how you know that the so-called Jews in our land are not the actual Israelites, man. Because you know, when they do the census, you know, in the UK and wherever they're dispersed at, you know, they're in low numbers. All right, they're at least like 200,000, this and then a third, 20,000, 5,000 in this community. All right, that's not the stars of heaven. Hell no. But if you look at the so-called, you know, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, they're millions. All right, so that's evidence that we're the Israelites, man. Not the Amalekites, not the so-called Jews over there. They're really from the tribe of Amalek. So verse 13, again, remember Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Not Abraham and Ishmael. Not this and that third. It's like Abraham, Isaac, and Abraham and Ishmael. No. So it's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Thy servants to whom thou swarest by thine own self, and saidst unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all the land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. See, so going back to Isaiah the 14th chapter, verse 14, we're those stars of heaven. So like we're those stars of Yahweh. Why? Because we're the inheritance of the Lord. And I believe that was in the book of Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter. And other precepts in the Psalms where it says, blessed is the nation whose power is the Lord, Yahweh. See, so that's the Israelite nation. Blessed be us. So for verse 13, I will exalt. So like, if thou hast ascended thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. So he's basically being puffed up. He's being prideful, man. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. You know, and another thing I like to mention from the stars of Yahweh is the Great Seal of America, Great Seal of the United States, or whatever it's called, with the eagle and the 13 stars in the circle above it. Well, that's really referring to the 12 tribes of Israel. You know, including the tribe of Dan in that seal. But we all know that salvation wasn't for the Danites. As a matter of fact, the Danites got mingled amongst the other nations. So as a matter of fact, the Akim could be literally Danites from the, you know, back in past lives. Verse 14, the main point. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. And the Most High is the title of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Or he's likened unto the Most High. See? Verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. And that word hell, you know, means a state of affliction / the grave. So you basically, man, you get Esau Edom in the kingdom of heaven. You're going to have the worst position. You're going to be in the worst position ever, man. And like the apostles and elders always say, if vocab Malone is an Edomite, man, it sucks for you, especially since you've always been mocking and scoffing, man. All right, so that's vexing to hear all your BS, man. And you have the audacity to just show up to the GMS camps and then start this and then a third, start blabbering and whatnot. See, so if you're an Edomite, in general, then man, it sucks for you, because you're gonna be in the worst hell you could ever be in. Because just like America is your heaven, the kingdom will be your hell. And also, you guys are gonna die very gruesomely, man. So, verse 16, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? You guys don't be opening the house of the prisoners, man. All right, you have the Parkland 5. It's like the Central Park 5, or how it's called, the Central Park 5, if I'm not mistaken. Man, they was unjustly taken into prison, man, all those years. And then, after spending like a portion of this short life being in this flesh, you ended up giving them millions of dollars, but millions of dollars cannot, compensate for the time taken, man. See? So Esau, man, you're through. You're through, man. All right. This idea, all right, this concept of you being able to digitize your conscious, your spirit, that's ridiculously retarded, man. Literally speaking here, man. All right, eliminate aging and even death, and overcome the limits of the human body. You can't do that, man. All right, that's only for the Israelite nation. With that being said, I hope this video was edifying. Lord, we continue to push harder, especially in these times. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Eloshai, Bahashem Ruach HaKodesh. All right, the bonus of the apostles and elders that most who were well and taught us this 100% truth. All right, much peace and blessings spent to you all who would like to pushing out this word of thought, truth, and sincerity. To all y'all can say shalom, DTA soon, Lord will out, and shalom.